introduce me. Always have fun with names. Sometimes I'll go back and forth, and sometimes I've been called Sandy and Sandra, even though S and D and N are not really like that in my name, but it's cool. But before I begin, I would like to give you an inside view into who I am. When it comes to me and my work and how I create, there's always been an observational aspect to everything. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a doctor, but I faint like a goat, so that was a bad idea. I wanted to be a psychologist. It was great, but then I realized some minds I really don't want to dive into. I'd rather stay in my own place, in my own mind, trying to understand what is happening in the world and release and vent and heal as I can with what I write and what I feel and what I will sing in a very tone-deaf manner at times, but it will give me humor. It will give me peace because a muse is dancing in creating things and intensify. I know where it is going and how it will end, but I'm extending the journey of my lips to the pen. For my thoughts whisper to shout, things neighbors call sin, while my heart shines heaven, and the path I'm to begin. With giants that step with small toes and big hands to leap light and lift high much that is tired but worthy of friend. To bring fantasy to reality, flossing the bitter with the sweet, for the belly is hungry. The belly is always hungry. Such is the course of a passion's need, expression, inspiration, revelation, confession, things with a shh that are never really quiet and hiding, things that creep out upon a sea of pages to bring chance and youth before generations. These are the things that flow from mind to lips to pen. So let's begin. And like I said, I'm trying to understand everything. I'm trying to understand the things of the past and what is happening now. Recently, the disconnects, the arguing, the pain. The first time I realized I could feel hate, I had turned 9 and no longer 8. I had seen the men walk through town with red X flags and white sheets for crowns. I saw them many times, but paid them no mind. I was a kid, the sun was up, I was in the light. I went to Reeves to buy a cone, but out the door I was not alone. Hey, little N, best be off the square. Then by the car, look at its nappy hair. I was still went on smiling, not knowing why he said what he said and why his smile was so vile. But that was not the day I realized hate. I grew and I learned that I was not liked just because I was different, because I was not white. I talked to my grandfather and then understood how to feel hate like the men in the hoods. I embraced all hate offered me, but I chose to wield it differently. I will voice, I will write, I will help, I will teach, I will persevere. But along this journey, I'm still trying to understand. Things are muddled. Things are all over the place. Calling them trash because they break and bash without understanding why. They are hungry to be heard, hungry to discern. Some will listen, some will dismiss. Will know what's amiss. Conjugating conjectures with characters and no colors, aligning charisma with old-fashioned hysteria until the press of a neck by a knee against sediment. Why does it take another last breath, a raspy call to a dead mother, for shouting and calls of change? My mind is rattling this. My mind is muddled with all happening here and then. This disease is bread soggied in turnip green liquor, bacon grease, sticky cast, with importantly impotent minds in iron times, with redirects and choked throats, inflecting shattered light, attempting to blind truth, but it cannot rot roots. There's light here. I will always call on the light. Light shines everywhere, shining high on the bitter of that swill, while lying suits seek bills to kill or till. But I'm done drinking from the devil's punch bowl, Mississippi. I'm not going to sit in Central Park and forget Seneca, New York, or the 85 bomb upon life in Philadelphia, PA. 230 plus raised high above seas, now
adaptations of ancestry seated by the wrongs and rights of all kin. I do not move blindly in this, my voice in my hands. My heart shakes in this. I will remember and make psalms of this, and with you I will extend a hand to aid the mend of life. So I call upon you. I call you to make sense of this, to not just go out boasting and shouting and breaking. Breaking means somebody else has to pay for it. Honestly, I don't want to pay more taxes. So, I shall call you. I shall call you to screen the mind that is to protect. I call you to remove those who cannot teach that compassion is not a defect. I call you to own the troubles that cut into rungs and attempt to weaken the ladder. I call you not to hand me another ladder, but to give me the same quality of goods to make my own ladder, all of our ladders, viable and durable. I call you to remember the one you eye for arm could have been the one that saved your life later. I call you to remember WWJD like you preach. I call you to remember your cells cry out for life. They fight for life upon alert of injury or death. So why would you expect a man or woman to not move and beg for breath? When hit, when punched, when chased. I call you to pretend I am white and my life is as valuable as yours. I call you to share in hope. I call you to share in possibility. We are all adaptations of ancestry, but we can make new paths. And yes, some are against us. Some say behaviors and minds should stay within lines, but those lines are drawn in black too. Those words are in black. What else do you expect folks to color with? We are all rings of the same tree that must change to survive, and we delight and we suffer the seasons together. Our blood has been the ink you've written and been jiving that tongue to. As Sam Cooke sang, a change is going to come, and it's going to keep coming all along the ways, all along the days of our life. But we shouldn't sit, and we should not be quiet in this. Keeping up the image as you're living in a foreclosed house at the Golden Gate, trying to hide that it's been 2 days since you last ate. Calling folks them and all, and snowflakes will fall. It doesn't make sense. Maybe we should find a new way to repent. But it is not just one shape or one people that is suffering. It is a variety. Cloudy eyes and wintering hearts dare not keep souls and centuries far. They follow and stay in remembrance. Drums curving and lifting grass blades from the fall of night strength, leaves lifting up on stirred air. I remember. Wendayaho. Great scents and small petals no longer line the long days and worn soles. The sky cried upon my back, and I cried upon the earth. But our steps on this trail would not let growth be. This was that trail of tears, you see. Seeds once planted by tree and wind were pushed down deep or risen from sleep, with rutting steps of hooves and bloodied feet. The deer no longer follow here. They all know. Even as we wander and sense drifting of hope, one day, longer on my shoulder, the words were almost forgot. Here were their tears. Here were my tears. My body began to seek rest. I almost asked to be laid down. One day, But with all this, everybody must find something, somewhere, to blame. So let's blame the road. It's always there. This place and time, on paper, in ink, in a feeling. What it is, the passing of a life, and payment is called. I remember hearing your bones break. It sung into me like an accidental crack of porcelain, pulp popping like a kernel, howling all night with liquored tongue of old rooms and souls forgotten too soon. Yes, I was watching you, searching in the first, third, and forgotten eye for a heaven's light which cannot die. Yet the gravel in your throat kicked up and got stuck, coarse and true of aim, as rock in the rusted of your pickup truck. The gnawed vision, itching the sweat, a gift for the tormented on a quiet starry night. The aromatic temptress of rotten cedar and desperation mixed with the musk of patchouli and formaldehyde, Piggy. Oh, you think, I think, yeah, we think it's Piggy. Man does love bacon, man does love self. One's own taste, one can never tell. Is it really Piggy or Salty Man? I believe it. I believe it so. Even the roadkill kitty tested with mouth ajar and eyes filled wide as a scent of karma crept nearby. Yes, I am still watching you. The one that you killed, the one that's been waiting, the one who initiated this night's fading. You should have not gone there and raised metal to air, for soul is counting of violence is fair. But I will not stay in pain. I will acknowledge it. I will feel it, and I will release it. I cannot hold to it, but I will hold to many truths. It has held you since before you knew yourself, since before the cells of your ancestors rose to stand on seas and race on lands, turning waves to the eyes of night, keeping hearts beating for the rain of life. Our core has been flowing, ebbing in time, to feel all the love some try to undo. It is not in my head to know your truth. It really isn't. But in all of our souls to know as we heal the wounds, mending they are. Mend, the word I can't help but keep using. Light, I cannot keep help. I can't. I have to keep using it. We reach for this, with tick-tock strings of time and ghosts merrily singing of lessons all learned. So youth gives victor when the past yearned. The first lesson spent not to be paid again as time, although tiptoeing has always been a friend. Solar and lunar coalesce to one, balancing the needle to sow the fuse, birthing eruption of bonds not seen by eyes, for as human we blinded selves for falsehoods to rise. But now we see. Now we are the firelight of hope and intellect. We are the rivers of that possibility. Again, a word repeated, bound in unification and not competition. But we have to keep feeling and connecting. I know I'm connected to my grandmother. And with this next piece, this is, in my opinion, all her. So bear with me as I attempt to channel her voice a little bit. And forgive me if I do it wrong, Grandma. So, make the poison cheap and they'll buy it. Yes, make the poison cheap and they'll buy it, and nobody'll be the wiser. At what frequency of sound will you listen to tales of woe, songs of hard, tweets of quirks and jerks with some itching to get hurt? How can you walk freely and proud? Upstairs, across stairs, out there, over there. Run free. How can you? I don't see it. I really don't. With a firm spine standing with chin so high and soul shouting light upon lies, with your pants dragging your behind. Your A crooked letter, crooked letter. I feel like getting a switch on you. I expect better of you. Because I don't see, I do not see your potential. The definition of potential involves what is yet to be. It is the wait, the chime of please hold, the arrival designated as not yet, which is delayed with repeated forgets. And I've heard you say, I will in one day, so many times you inch so near to seeding a lie. I see what you are now. I see your present. 'Cause you are my grandbaby, and you are my gift. The gift you don't know how to open with hands and a mind. How you let fear others the past dull that shine. You keep waiting to be your present now. You have arrived. See the door in front, and don't keep looking at your behind, your A crooked letter, crooked letter. But I get you can't help in the plight of an A crooked letter, 'cause you gotta keep pulling on them pants. You are what you keep watching. You are behind. Worrying about it, falling for it, it's over there. You won't even take granddaddy's suspenders. If that pair is always hanging and I see them draws, your A crooked letter is flashing your greatest flaw. I keep watching you. I may be far, but I'm so close to you. Over and beside, as you sit assumed alone in the father's chair trying to hide, I can almost taste the hunger in the air. It's like that pie you wanted when you didn't get a slice of. Smell the scent of your daydream crossing your brow and hear the squinch of your eyes as you doubt. I can see your record playing along the flit of pores and hair. You have said the skin will halt where to begin. The accent will confuse and not let you in. Line with times and find accusing minds. The GPA is not there. All these things you keep saying. The only degrees I have are on the stove. The past will creep and reveal my past. Okay, I got the list of my ripped and rouged sheets. Okay, boy, okay. Make your poison cheap and I'll buy it. Okay, you got this. We're going to keep buying it. I don't need to be wiser. This may be felt like preaching, but part of preaching is reaching as far as I'm concerned when you spell it. Is it okay for me to reach for you and help you stand up and pay attention? Chin up, love. And we are extending a voice. Yes, I am here. Your granddaddy is here. Your cousins are here. Your uncles are here. Maybe a couple of your aunts, but we ain't gonna talk about them. We see you. We're here for you. And we're trying to connect you to your gift. You have been irked by a weight which has scraped the shroud of your spirit. Reset bones to metal ridges that sing for slicks to fill spaces, high-pitched and groaning hollows. Know your strength is not a wish floating on clouds you dream about. Whether your rags have been worn since graduation year, those hands have been calloused with tears, or feet have worn many, many miles, fleeing and fearing. Your worth has been predestined to do much more, so treat your body like it is. Speak your life like it is. Show your spirit like it is. Quit using penny eyes to look up at priceless skies, acting like your now is not as valuable and plentiful as those clouds. We're watching you. Quit making poison of yourself and lift your pants, because I don't want to see your A crooked letter. So I take it since I completed that one, Grandma's fine. I once did that poem and like a book fell and I was like, that has to be Grandma. Thank you. But it was one of those things where regardless of what I was doing in life, she was there in some way. She never learned how to drive, didn't really know how to write that well, but she would find a way to get things done. And she said, well, regardless of what you do, get it done. And her main word that she would use before everything, which was not really a word, was come behold. And I realized much later on, she was saying come behold as one word, one sound almost. And at one point, we thought she was saying commode, like a toilet. And we were like, we didn't understand it. So we were misreading the situation. But through that, I'm a reader. I'm a reader because I double as a healer, and I do more than your dime bag dealer. I can see, feel, and breathe it all. Yes, all the things you hide and do to stand or summon the fall. When your mom and dad didn't give you a hug, when you tried to be quarterback because the bully took your tongue. The knowledge and history comes to mind, parting incisors, not readying the bite, but to release the fire. Cauterizing wounds with gold-tongued letters and honeyed whispers, I speak and read your hieroglyph. I touch the rough, the smooth, and sanguine tides to find out where you really reside. I am a reader because I double as a healer and do much more than your CoverGirl concealer. Trying hide the lines of wear when it seemed those who loved and most wanted didn't care. Trying to hide the scars gifted through words and touches that didn't consider your voice was screaming, your heart was beating, you were reeling. when it was time for you to say goodbye, when violence smiled and glinted your eye. I'm a reader because I myself am a seeker of love and hope. And no, that's all we are all really after, regardless of how we go for it. I know it sometimes sees resting and waiting to be lifted up, wanting to be the expansion and that connection of light. And we get lost while venturing to the happiness desired, but don't give up. I'm a reader and I double as a healer because I see you and I hear you. But even through this, I'm still trying to understand the disconnects that are flowing through life. I'm trying to understand why there are so many differences and why people get upset with a piece of fabric. When there's more, there are things that are getting hurt, that are feeling the pain. Cars, engines, but bigger bags. A play on words, I say. The flag does not feel. It has no nerve endings or even tendons. To rattle as I give a poke, it is your emotion I accidentally begin to stroke. When raised high and wind is friend, it will wave. When the miniatures are dropped in the trash on Independence Day, oh July 4th, oh hooray. When all the extra ones are made for graves and all the celebrations are done, where is the dismay when they are thrown away? 80% rayon, 20% cotton, I'd watch your temper as you seem to have forgotten all the injustice and horror bestowed to quiet the pain along the chain rows. Like all had respect, freedom, and rights like your kin had. Words rhyming with car engines, bunt, bigger bags. I don't understand it. I know not all are like this. There is good in all groups. We are all one group. Just the human race, that's it. All trying to make it along. Now you look shook and quite surprised when I say this. Surprised. Because you want the flag spread wide and all to stand in joyous pride. I may stand and others may by the time you may sing your anthem while I sing mine. I cannot give gold for a lie. Belief is the wreath for which truth folds. Truth is championed through temperatures unknown. But the flag does not feel. People do. We are more than objects. The belief is what is tempered. The belief is what is challenged. It is okay to have more than one. The opinions that we poke, everything begged for appeal. The vice is the zeal in what you assume is the real. It is not. Your fear is breaking the line as teacher. The flag is not a god or a goddess to smite you down. You choose the path wearing furrowed brow or passable crown. The flag does not feel, but people do. Because we're almost like the Romans and Greeks getting distracted with things. You're kept busy with entertainment and sports. So with politics, you won't have retorts. But COVID happened and turned everything off. The Romans and Greeks did it right, kept them busy with games, kept them distracted with blades, kept perplexed with carnal ways, not be vexed, while feeding a beast of cruelty and power, and numbing the idea that all man and woman alike be towers. The lure and taste of blood, the weakening of heart that should be risen. Yes, we should rise up together in goodness, in happiness, in intelligence. Knowing more than one thing is not a bad thing. Knowing how to help others near and far is not a bad thing. But no, it wasn't their season. They chose not to take spring. Instead, they took their fall for 5 rings of rust and ash, while waiting for darkness to rush in with stars, and wishing for stars when the best one, the greatest one, shines by day. Yes, the sun is a star. I remembered science class. It is there so brightly in our heavens, in our hope, in all that we see. It is lighting our way. We've wandered back, though, and not learned that our tongue and matter makes flesh ready for the urn. Appreciate the might, how focus makes flight, the talent of such victors with cunning leaders to ride. Yes, we're like Romans and Greeks, with ancient omens whispered and shouted. But even when touted, all will be busy with entertainment and sports. But we have our receipts. We have our receipts with time. Throughout each era, we have purchased much in life, sometimes without price, transparent, in bold, on a self of us, on a self of reflection. Truth veered wayward within a cloud, but later we find out something is sold. Sometimes without receipts on white sheets, the cost has been high, and the hand did not have the weight to purse it into a place of unknown measure. It was our lips spoken high and low. We did not know that life was going to be sown. Sometimes the purveyor was a sly soothsayer with two shaded staffs, saying again, you must step back. But we kept pushing as we were quite equipped to tiptoe and aim ready and steady upon the hilt. We have always been the holders of secrets, writers of beginnings, creators without end, from Hypatia to Henrietta, from Mai to Maya. Whatever is going, whatever is happening, none is forgotten whether there is paper or not. But speaking of paper, I feel that we all are paper. We are but paper, shaped into many things that can echo and sing. The wind can move us into many directions. It can smooth our texture. The water can sink us and cause us to unravel. The earth can bury us to one day become home for something new to grow. The fire can change our color. It can turn us to ash. But as one listens to the whispered crackles, one knows we are not finished. We are but paper, underestimated and strong, a form that can build empires and string thoughts along. We are but paper, inspiring provocation, dancing and spinning as muse and aberration. We are but paper. I won't be folded, though. Yet, when given a false hand, we can give cut to disturb the mightiest man. With or without lines, we provide much space to give heart and mind a resting place, to take in our fears, our dreams and wishes, to give rise and design to what another dismisses. We are but paper, simple in form, but with true eyes, our eyes, we are adorned. So, I don't think paper is a bad thing. But I find myself called to write many things. Whether I am standing, I'm sitting, I'm traveling, and I find myself taking out my phone and having to record. Because some of the thoughts that come to mind, I feel are connecting to something else, someone else, and I don't know why. This next piece I wrote is called Mommy and Daddy. It's not my life, but it was a life I could feel. Mommy and Daddy were fighting again, but I just want them to be happy and grin. Give us hugs while they read and we listen. Mommy and Daddy were loud tonight. I really wish they didn't fight. I like our big house and the yard outside, but where from the noise can we even hide? Mommy and Dad don't smile as much. It seems anything will cause them to fuss. I tried my doll, brother tried his truck to make them smile, but we had no luck. A yellow envelope was in Daddy's hand. His face was red. He seemed really mad. Mama didn't smile. She was so sad. Were brother and I so very bad? Mom struck Dad. Dad struck Mom. From the storm will there be calm. I'm only 8. Brother's just 4. Why was Mommy's skirt even torn? We only want love from both and wish that all will mend and we see you kiss. But as they part, brother and I hope we don't end up on opposite ropes. We are small children and don't understand how things made together can come to an end. We only want love and know you do too. Is there anything, something we can do? So, when you were a child, if this happened to you, a little heart wondering when the light would shine through, did you say to yourself, I won't be like them, just to see the story repeating again? Or maybe with learning, prayer, and luck, you found a way to mend the scars and ruts. If you have not, from my soul to yours, know you are loved, and their burden isn't yours. You are blessed, beautiful, and true. Angels and sprites are watching over you. Listen in silence and know we are here for when you are ready to bring us near. From this day forward, trust in your light, your soul, your God, your Gaia, your heart of might. Just believe in yourself.
And I'm going to take a quick drink.
I found myself this summer more than any other summer drinking way more water. I didn't realize it could get this muggy. I've been around different places, Memphis, Colorado, and I'm just like, okay, it's hot, not that humid, but Tennessee has a special brand of heat. But maybe we'll lift things up with a flying horse of spirit sky. What do you see when you look at the skies, Invictus or Pegasus flying by? An untamed form destined to be always soaring eternally. But then you look down and seek something else. You seek your hands and wonder what's made of their plans. Can I reach so high? Can I be something more? Can I fly as high as that flying horse? You keep wondering and you wait. With body and mind tested, fear within, but you keep searching and reaching out. And now you must begin. You must begin. The leap to raise oneself up, the wings to glide on once pillared dreams is there. Breathing in the universe, ready for each burst of light, of wisps of might, with reflection of face not shown and hands worn by tears. But with your spirit opening on the edge of your sky's pier, you may have been born on bordered grass, yet you are the flying horse that you see within the cloud. You are meant to fly beyond the spirit sky. But sometimes I wonder what will be. Staring at the soil, not the growth of flowers, not the fall of rain. I'm wondering what will be. Will it be something I can hold precious to me? But if nothing grows, I am so thankful that there is space that can hold a new purpose. And the next few poems that I wrote, they're actually related to some family members, some of the kiddos, and then just different things that I was noticing. This one is called Taller. And this is actually related to a couple of family members where we have vertically challenged, as I like to call myself, and then we have some really tall people in the family. And when I was a kid, I would always aim and stress to be taller. And then I noticed that some of my cousins and the other kids in the family, they aim and stress to be taller. And so this is Taller. Why are you taller than me? I thought we were just simple seeds, floating in air with all whimsy and no care, lifting higher and to find land to dare. Why are you taller than me? I don't like it. It's not fair. We land apart yet still together. I knew not why I was shaded by a feather. Tumbled to earth and oh, I saw. Why are you taller than me? I drank water and I did rest. I know. I see it now. Why you're taller than me. I did not rest in that chirping nest. I didn't. I fell on the root and got stuck, not even in the dirt. There was nothing there. There was nothing there, not even a thumping crest. I needed those bits of rock and dirt to blanket my shoulders and not a perch. I got stuck on a root. You found your space before and that's okay, I guess. Yeah, I guess. I saw how to grow through many shades, but we are both tall now, wondrous and strong, with knowledge and blossoms of fruit for others to rise on. But next time we grow, don't get taller than me first. But there's always a season to play. We have a season to play in summer's sun or through fall days. We have a reason to play. Buzzing stripes with busy searches, whistling song from unseen perches, rustling claps but not all from birches. We are in a season of play. Hand in hand with dirt or sand, giggles and squeaks with feet on new land. blue grass tickling the smallest toes, while the sweet of violet scrunches our nose. We are in a season of play. But then you want to count all day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. No, that is not how we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, we're going to keep doing this until you count right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, you got it. I see 3 points flying high. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 4 and 5. I see your smile in the sky. I hear a band in the wild. Tapping, thumping, chanting music. To the ground, a falling stick. Blooms are held like microphones while squirrels so still like garden gnomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Hold up, we gotta go back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I see wonder in a little doe's eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you got it. I see your smile in a sunflower sky. I feel happy as a bear full on honey, winding, rushing with silly twists. Nowhere here does the river sit. Starlight held in daydream hugs with 2 stepping ladybugs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 3 points flying high. I see the world in your smile, even if counting is not your style. This one, I will say, is about my son. When he was itty bitty, and he's only 10, but he's like up to here, which is scary. You shouldn't be that tall at 10, but it happens. He was a little tutor, and I didn't understand what was going on. But I found out, and I decided to write a poem about it. This is called Drum Roll. A procession of noise rattled the floor, and I thought a little one was tapping even more. I heard all the giggles with assumed beatboxing, then it stopped, and I saw the child flossing, jumping and happy, smiling so big, scooting and breakdancing. What heart he brings. The sound returned. Oh no, I see. Oh no, I smell. He was tooting and ripping a drum roll cloud. He's not as gassy these days, which is great. He's really going to get me if he ever sees this. But you write what calls to heart. Another thing that calls to heart was our guinea pig. She actually recently passed away about a month ago. But she would inspire me to write all these different little poems about the different sounds and the things that they would do. And I would always think she was like ratting on me with the irony of her being a rodent. But you will understand why I thought she wasn't loyal at times. Energy low, and all I desire is a snack so I feel less tired. Tiptoe to the kitchen and behold a salad ready and waiting for my hungry palate. Little one is napping, or so I assume, salivating and wanting, I'm ready to consume. Scent closer to mouth and then the crunch, but squeaking erupts. With squeaking and jumps, Guinea did this. And I bet she was grinning. As the child woke up, now running and spinning, a mother's peace is sometimes her play. Always a parent, not just for Mother's Day. Give love and hugs to your potential units every day in some way. And know the guinea pig is watching. This one, I will say, is called Teacup. It's about the female body. At one point in my life, someone had offered as a birthday present for me to get an adjustment. I don't think so. I'm fine and happy as I'm designed. So, this is called Teacup. No milk spoiled or spilled. No worries of falling when I go to tilt. Just the right amount, nothing to go to waste. Nothing for me to fall on my face. Boobies, knockers, boing boings, jugs are what you want to see, but I only have teacups for thee. You want them to be bouncy and hoppity, hopping and twerking with a flippity floppity, a fleshy stress toy that shows you're still a boy. But I don't want to get hit in the eye and be the reason I fall off the horse and die. They'll go a knocking, weighing back and bruising my ribs, creating more distance when I want you close when we kiss. They will droop and swing like metronomes and pendulums, rubbing my skin's doom. when you think that's real fun. When I'm 109 human years old, and yes, I will get to that number, they are looking like 2 long eggs whose yolk leaked when fried, fearing soon they will rest on my thighs. No, I'm not doing this. Being older with a onesie raw cradling my waist just because they want to perch up and have a raise. How about a no? That's not going to happen. You keep asking me to make them bigger, but see offense when I say, no, give me some more money, make my hand bigger. I don't think so. Tit for tat, no, these won't be a bigger that. So you can be happier when we stroll or lay. Don't modify me and I won't modify you. How about I do you one better and say goodbye so you can find what twinkles your eye. Find those that fill your wit, because I love my body and I'm not cutting this. The next one I will say was in mind because of the song Looking for Love. Like I said, I'm not a great singer, so looking for love in all the that song. Okay, so this was a poem that I actually wrote, but I find myself singing it off and on when I see somebody doing something haphazardly to themselves, like pulling a wedgie out of themselves. So this is called Digging for Gold. Digging for gold in all the wrong places. Digging for gold in spots without spaces. Digging, oh digging. I think you messed up by doing it by camera, hoping no one see, but I caught ya. Digging for gold in all the wrong places. Digging for gold in spots without spaces. I know you're a tightwad, but I never knew why. Now I know the source was between your thighs. There you pluck another rise. Digging for gold in all the wrong places. Digging for gold in spots without spaces. Please don't do it by camera. And the next set goes into nature, because there's always these little nuances and things that happen that make me happy and that make me smile, even if it's an insect. Now, I'm not a fan of spiders. I know they have their purpose, but they can stay far away from me. But a fly, the one thing that a spider would love to eat, they can be understandable. I can relate to a fly. They can be a little friendly at times. A fly sat with me. A fly sat with me and did not leave my company. It did not need or want my food or drink. It seemed to wander and seemed to think. Along the page and across each word, buzzing and rubbing a language unheard. It happened 2 times, and before it was done, I thought it was just having a bit of fun. On the last page, it sat for long before moving again, tilted its head, and constructed an improvement lend. I may not see this fly again, but it may be my best buzzed friend. That was my little silly fly poem. But sometimes I like to lie in the darkness. I can't do it here in Nashville, but in my hometown, there were places you can go in the countryside. You can just lay in the woods, in the grass, and just look up at the sky and just enjoy the darkness being lit up by the stars, by the moon. I remember that. I lie in the darkness on the knoll, in the grass. It is cold, but I am hot. I let the rain lift my heart's beat. My eyes brave the tendrils of water falling upon me because I'm witnessing heaven unfold. I open myself up into the clouds, the stars, darkness beyond the breath of my soul, and there I see, just beyond the end of it all, light. A light of new beginnings and old tales, a light of elders holding their young upon their worn shoulders, never breaking focus of strength, a light of those made of flesh, but molded with a force so great it cannot die, a sight of succulence, of pureness, of peace, something that erases all those hungers, a light that fills my heart again and again and again. With each blink of my eyes, the light is there. It flashes like cameras, like bumblebees on sizzlings, capturing the beauty of life around me. But I'm not so little. I'm a not so little bird. I was a little bird in a tree, waiting for clear skies, waiting for the sun's drift to carry me. New branches would grow and I would seemingly climb higher, but it never took me where I wanted to go. The sight went far. Everything was there. My wings were colorful, but my talons held me in place in that tree, trotting in my feathered mind. I realized what I wanted was already mine. I just needed to let go, to let myself fall out of the tree. Yes, at first I held my wings up to hide my eyes, yet I kept looking down, thinking it was a long way to fall. But a strong wind came and ruffled my feathers. I am so thankful for that wind. That curiously peculiar and, a bit uncomfortable wind made me move my wings and see. It made me see that I needed to look up and out. There was something better. Although the tree was always growing and bested many of the other trees, it was not the best for me. It could never lift me high enough. The noise of that tree didn't always make me feel strong. I thanked the tree for my nest, its roots of change, branches of lessons, and leaves of hope. I said goodbye and let myself fall. I fell into my own strength and not to the earth. I like the earth, but I don't want to land there yet. Now I fly elevations that I used to dream about. I eat new fruit and have befriended amazing creatures. I hear the music of different forests and glide upon great waters. I soar, and the world is my riches. But not all falls are the same. I had extended streams and made my way for you. I fell to the earth for you. From a height of sunlight and seasonal dews, I pitched forward my gaze, wading through the transactions of lines and decisions, creating the right time. Moments with man's souls pressing into my base, feeling earth washed and reshaped. Watching fingerprints tap up and on and around upon my unsmooth womb, as lovers quarrel and amend with blade, making indentations to bind, but unwittingly breaking permanence with each strike into me. I kept changing my shade as I peeked high and low. I wondered around. I could not see. I could not see the face that would look upon me as I would be taken in hand and see my own hands. Those 5 points again. Where are they? Yet when waiting and wonder was no more, when I forgot the earnest of what was to come, I let the seams of life catch me, weigh me down like a raindrop on an ant's back. The rustling of kin through old winds had grown faint, and I no farther had seen my spine. It was there. On my shoulder, a leaf had fallen, for you to carry me, as curiosity and memory, as comfort and secret, as just a leaf from that tree that once watched life pass and be. And I've traveled to many places, in different places, and I had the pleasure of going to Iceland, and I love Iceland. It's one of those places where people think it's so cold, but it's actually a place that will fill your heart and warm you. A traveler of strings and swooning tongue, shaking the ground, conjuring the magic of the old fjord sound. A shrunker sun, his cloth may be, but light illuminates him eternally. Connecting by letters and melodies of gold, he knocked on spirits' doors, foretold, to raise the flame with each strike of hand, as he wakes the chords along the shore. Vessels harbor at the pier of his eyes, because they know the wind shall come and wings rise. Appearing alone sometimes, but alone he not be. He is surrounded and carried by what some may not always see. Vierno, Fjoskade, Hedri og Sentke, Austavan, Tungli og Snjonum, Maute og Frith. A being of Segluk, creating his path through snow, wind, and sometimes volcanic ash. Julius, yes, you are a string of love and song of swooning tongue, shaking the ground of the midnight sun. Detta är madren som jag älskar. But that is life. That is love and a gift. As I travel the rivers of my soul, the gift of love is what I wish to bestow, unleashing and revealing my pain and my light, knowing there's love to swoon all-star unites. I embracing you as he embraces me, and we make us together. We are to be. We are the birth of life and love and connection. Through first kisses and caresses, games of futility, while we find those new caresses. It is here in the wealth of our hearts we are minted by love's gold. By hands of strength I know I can hold. No faces hide here, no beacons or sound will ever be quiet there. Because there are many reflections of love. I've written much on love, but I believe you can never express too much. So I'll just go through a quick list of where there's love. There's love when one says hello, love when one says goodbye. There's love when the old couple fused all their sticky things together and fussed as the door passed by. There's love when there's laughter. There's love in the curiosity and whimsy of children. There's love when souls connect with pupils. There's love when you stand and brave Goliath. There's love when you are David without a sling. There's love when the sun nuzzles your cheeks and glides on your hand. There's love when the moon and stars make shadows on sands. There is love when you cook and build. There is love when you accidentally step on his toes. There is love when he eats beans and there's a putrid haze. There is love when you try and cry. There is love when you don't think you're healing. There is love when there's no fish to reel in. There is love when you are open and closed. There is simply always love. I want to thank you all for being here today and connecting with me. In love and pain, we can heal and we can grow. And I also just want to put out there that there's All Things Planetary, that this is an anthology that was created by Amy at Flat Rock Poetry. And when it comes to this, it actually creates donations for Girls Write Nashville. And then there's also the 2020 vision focused on the Czech Republic. And this was an ekphrastic experience based on photos from different places in the Czech Republic. Different people came together and we wrote poetry. So I hope you enjoy and connect with me more at www.lrdrkat.com. Thanks. Thank you.
Next month, we have Henry Jones on August 27th. I encourage you all to come again and either do it virtually or come and sit in the auditorium, and you will again experience a wordsmith as we've had this evening. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you.